Yo, what's going on, y'all? This Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. I'm gonna start doing videos a little bit more consistently, but if you want to hear me talk more about boxing, you can go over to the YouTube channel, The Jab Effect, or thejabeffect.com. I got a podcast over there with my partner Boxing P. We talk about anything and everything boxing. The podcast is called Just Absolutely Boxing, or the Jab Podcast. Like I said, we talk about anything and everything. You know, we talk about current stuff, the history of boxing, you know, just some of the things like, you know, the sweet science of it. You know, we try to cover all that. You know, we get a few interviews here and there. So just go, you know, make sure you go over there to either iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and just type in Jab Podcast, and, you know, make sure y'all subscribe. But today I just want to do a quick video on Manny Pacquiao, and just want to talk about him and some of the current welterweights today, and, you know, the example he's setting for a lot of fighters today. You know, it's been about 3 or 4 weeks since Manny signed with Al Haymon. And, you know, right after on his Instagram, you know, he posted that picture of him looking on at some of the fellow Al Haymon fighters like Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, and Floyd Mayweather. So now I know off top, a lot of fans are going to say that, you know, oh, he's too old, or this is a dangerous move for him. He's just doing this for money. He stands no chance. Maybe not. You know, some of these things are true. But Manny has something a lot of fighters today are lacking. And that's quality opponent goals, or better yet, legacy goals. And by that I mean, Manny, it's in his heart to just fight the best fighters. You know, he comes from that last school of fighters where to get the big reward, they got to fight the best fighters. Because, I mean, he's the only guy I've seen in the welterweight division today that's actually posted his hit list like this. You know, I know a lot of the other guys say, oh, I fight this guy, I fight him, but they still haven't made the fights yet. They still continue to wait and wait and wait. While Manny, he's already set out his goal. He set out his blueprint. You know, he's going for Adrian Broner this year, and hopefully going for his potential rematch with Floyd. Now, I know that isn't the best fight he can take, but it's the best money-wise, and he is the best fighter in the world he could fight. But he also made it known that he would fight Sean Porter or Errol Spence, you know, just by looking on like that. Now, Manny, like I said, he's a fighter that fought the best fighters, even in his prime. You know, he's never ducked the best. He's even fought the best for less than what these fighters are asking for today. You know, and I mean, half of these guys haven't even proved a third of what Manny's done. And like I said, Manny, he's never ducked opposition, or, you know, in any weight class, or even argued about the lion's share. I mean, maybe he's done that off camera, but you rarely hear him say money is stopping him from fighting somebody. You know, he's never arguing about, oh, I need this big amount of money, I need this, I need that before I can take this fight. I'm the A side, I'm the B side. Now, maybe he hasn't been the best businessman, and maybe he should have been doing that as far, you know, the more and more he evolved, and that would have put him in a better financial situation. But I mean, aside from all that, yeah, maybe that would have put him in that better situation, and he definitely could have argued and started saying, hey, I deserve this amount of money, you know, going off of all the opponents he beat. But yeah, like I said, that aside, I can respect a guy like Manny, who, or any fighter who can ask for maybe $3 or $4, $5 million, as long as he's taking on A-level competition, versus somebody who's continuing to wait and ask for $5 million while he fights C and D level opponents. You know, I mean, boxing is a tough sport. The risk to get hurt is always there. And people still need to remember that this is a sport and it is a competition. You know, boxing is a lot like life, where you should be rewarded for the bigger risk you take and the bigger moves you make. You shouldn't be guaranteed anything if you haven't proved yourself time and time again, especially in your prime. You know, Manny, he's a guy that doesn't have to prove himself anymore to me, but he continues to do that and set an example for these guys out here. So going back, like I said, a lot of fans who say Manny's out of his prime, this may be true, but he's setting that example that he is a fighter, and everything he's doing and everything he's going for, whether it is money, he's willing to take a big risk for it. Because I mean, right now, like, yeah, he could probably just go straight for a Floyd fight for a big chunk of money, but he says, hey, I'll fight Broner until then, which isn't a guaranteed fight. You know, I think he could beat Broner, and I think he will, but I mean, shoot, my opinion doesn't matter. It all comes down to his performance that night. Now, when I first thought Manny was going to Al Haymon, I thought he might just squeeze in a few no-name fighters, but with the list that he posted, he proves that's not in him. You know what I mean? He definitely proved that I want these guys, you know, nothing more, nothing less. And I mean, Look at his last opponent, Lucas Matisse. You know, I consider him like a B minus, or like a B minus fighter. And there's fighters today that haven't even stepped above that level of opponent. Like Manny will still get in there. Manny will still get in there with some of the toughest guys on that the gatekeeper threshold. He really won't step any lower than that. I know a lot of people didn't know Jeff Horn, but they see the tough fight that Jeff Horn put on, right? You know, and I still think he beat Jeff Horn, but you know, that was still kind of a tough fight for him. You know, a young, undefeated, scrappy guy that he wasn't even familiar with on his home turf. So, I mean, he was still willing to do something like that. Whether, you know, while fighters today, they won't even do that. But like I said, he's always the type of guy that's just going to step in there. You know, while these other guys are arguing about A side or B side, shit, Manny, you know, he already has a fight lined up with Broner and a potential rematch with Floyd. So, I mean, the rest of these welterweights, they haven't even partnered up yet. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you still got Sean Porter over here. I mean, he did fight Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman in the past 2 years, but I mean, they still haven't even hashed it out to continue to find out who is the best fighter. I mean, right now with Errol Spence, we got him fighting Mikey Garcia, you know, a guy coming up from 135 to 147, a guy that's not even in the sharp pit of welterweights. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't even got all these guys mixing it up. So, I mean, Manny, he's already coming through the door fighting Broner and then fighting Floyd. So, and maybe might even try to fight Porter or Spence in the meantime. So, I mean, he's already showing that these guys that, you know, I'm still about the grit of the sport while these guys are making diva requests. You know what I mean? But, I mean, just wanted to do a little video talking about that because I just feel like, you know, Manny, he's the type of fighter that is showing the right way. And what I think, man, like when I say that about, you know, Manny, you know, he's still about the grit of the sport. I think a lot of the fighters just need to remember to put that, you know, in their mind. They need to put that in the back of their mind that, you know, the reward's going to come. Because a lot of these guys, you know, they continue to pick and choose the situation. I mean, yeah, you might want a lot of money for this risk, but make sure you're taking the risk. You know, you got to make sure that you're constantly going in there with the best fighters. Are you just worried about fighting for big money, or are you really worried about legacy? You know what I mean? Because to me, that money will come when they jump in there with that ocean of sharks. Whoever comes out the last one standing, that's how it's supposed to be. You know, I don't know if a lot of these fighters are scared to take that risk and find out, hey, they might not come out on top, but look at it. You know, Manny, he's done some of the best things in the past, 15 years in the game, and he still wants the elite level. He's been in wars, and he's ready to jump back in there with the Sharks, man. So, shoot, that's all I got to say on this one, man. I hate to ramble on about it, man, but I just feel like Manny's still setting that bar for these guys, man. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I know, like I said, Manny, he's out of his prime, but, I mean, what do you think about his choice of opponents? Is it something these other guys can learn from? Is it something these guys should just be paying attention to? Let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Jab Effect, you know, on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Jab Podcast. Shout out to Boxing P. I'm out. Peace.